Welcome back to Saturday Hashmarks. My name is Brian, also known as Trojan Bias on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I'm joined here by Nick. Nick, how are we doing tonight?
Doing good. How you doing?
Can't complain, can't complain. Nick, we have a Heisman winner. All year we've been talking about who's going to win the Heisman. Started off with like 10 dudes that you can make a case for. Over the last few weeks, it's been whittled down. We ended up with four finalists being Jeremiah Love, Fernando Mendoza, Julian Sayin, and Diego Pavia. It was a pretty open and shut case who was going to get it. And that is Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza won the Heisman. Now, I went on last week and I said that I thought it should have been Julian Sayin, and I'm going to stick with that. I still think that my vote would have gone to Julian Sayin, but I don't think anyone can say that Fernando Mendoza didn't earn the Heisman this year. Fernando Mendoza looked really good this year, got Indiana
hmm
to a very good spot this year. I don't think that you could really make the case that Julian Sayin or Jeremiah Love or Diego Pavia were snubbed. I think Mendoza earned this Heisman. So we got to give a hats off, congratulations to Fernando Mendoza, bringing a first Heisman to Indiana.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy. I do want to say you'd be Julian Sayin's ninth first place vote for
Yeah,
Heisman.
I saw that, and
That
Jacob
was my.
Rodriguez.
I'll get to that. I have that written down, but my first point and my main point from Heisman, from seeing that first Heisman thing was Jeremiah Love being ahead of Julian Sayin is stupid. Like in my opinion, what did I think I had the order Pavia, Mendoza, Sayin, Love. And the only reason I had Sayin below Mendoza was because of less touchdowns. Jeremiah Love, yes, he's a good player, and we know he's a good player, wasn't used enough to be a Heisman. Like, didn't even have 200 carries. Julian Sayin had the same exact passing numbers as Fernando Mendoza. Like, I'm pretty sure he had one less touchdown and the same amount of picks, or the same amount of touchdowns, the same amount of picks.
He had, I
And
think, yeah, I think he had like the same amount of picks, two less touchdowns, a higher completion percentage, and then more
yeah,
yards. That was the
and
difference.
it's purely, and I mean it's just fuel for Ohio State to go
Oh,
win the whole
absolutely.
thing. But the fact that everyone was just like completely ignoring what Sayin did, and I think that they're like, oh, he's got Jeremiah Smith, he's got Carnell Tate, he's got Bo Jackson, blah 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 blah. It's like Indiana has studs. Like
It does have
you're
studs.
acting like Fernando Mendoza's throwing to nobodies. Like Omar Cooper's a dog. Roman Himby, the running back's a dog. Like they have a staple of running backs. They have a staple of pass catchers, and it's just crazy that saying. I think he. That's really the only thing that I took away from that top four was that the voters really didn't care for him, and it's crazy to me. Like Jeremiah Love had way worse stats than Ashton Jainty. He had like I'm pretty sure he had like 900 less yards than Ashton
Yeah.
Jainty, and he finished third in the Heisman.
Yeah,
And
that
JT finished second. Like it just doesn't make sense. I think that people are just trying to push that narrative, and people were voting based off, oh, Jeremiah Love, I like him as a player. I'm going to vote for Jeremiah Love, and they're not looking at stats and all this other stuff. But
I'm with you. I don't think that. I mean, I obviously I said my first place vote would have gone to saying. I don't know how Jeremiah Love finishes above him. Like you said, the difference between him and Genty. And granted, you don't want to compare 2 years of players together because if the guy that finished fourth last year would have won it this year because he was the best player this year, but at the same time, like they've set that precedent that what Genty
I,
did wasn't enough to win the Heisman.
yeah,
Love should be nowhere near that. I mean,
like
no,
JT
Love
had,
was
I'm
nowhere
pretty
near that.
sure, more than 1,000 scrimmage yards more than Jeremiah Love. And
Yeah,
it's just like, if there's a year where a running back doesn't have freaking 2,000 all purpose yards, then so be it. You don't have to put in a
I
running back into the Heisman Final Four.
I'm with you. I honestly would rather have seen J Rod in. I know this is going to come across super biased, not biased here. I would have rather seen J Rod in the finalist there.
hmm
Look, and I know that people get mad because oh well, it's always quarterbacks. It's always quarterbacks, which first of all isn't true because we saw last year a wide receiver DP combo win
The
it,
quarterback award
and
is the NFL MVP. That's the best
one
quarterback
hundred
award.
percent. That 100%. We've seen other positions win it, and you go back to '80s, '90s, even like early 2000s. And it was the running back award because football in general, college football especially, was more of a run game. It's transitioned over the last 10, 15, 20 years to a passing game. Of course, the guy that's going to look the best is the guy that is controlling the passing game. But that's not even the case. We've had other position players recently that have won it. So I'm with you. I don't think that you throw in a token running back just to say you threw in a token running back. I would, like I said, I would like to see J Rod there. Now I don't know if I would want to see J Rod win it. More so because of the precedent they set with Hutchinson not winning it a few years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago, 3 years ago. Obviously, he tore it up, and not that J Rod didn't, but I think he was a little bit more, being a pass rusher, a dedicated pass rusher, a little bit more impactful on the field, and he didn't win it. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't love it. I don't love that Sayan was, that Love was above it. But again, at the same time, I'm not going to lose a ton of sleep over who got second and third place in the Heisman race.
Yeah. I just think I gave my piece, and I also think that Jacob Rodriguez deserved a little more attention for what he did this year.
Oh, I agree.
I think an invite would have been nice, but I don't know. I wouldn't really want a pity invite.
And I don't think it's crazy to say J Rod's like probably going to go first overall in the draft this year. I don't get how he doesn't get an invite.
I don't think he goes that high in the draft.
I don't think he'll go first, but just I wouldn't be shocked if he does.
He's an off-ball linebacker. I don't even know what his draft grade is. Like, off-ball linebackers don't go very high.
True, but I just wouldn't be
kind of like offensive guards and stuff like that. Running backs.
True. We did also learn something else during the Heisman ceremony. Diego Pavia is a bum, dude. You get honored. First of all, like, Mendoza was asked about his competition, his other finalists, and he was like, you know what? They're both hecka good players. They're both really good. Fernando Mendoza's up there crying, thanking his mom, thanking God, thanking his teammates. Pavia's over here flipping off the voters and posting it to Instagram saying, F you voters, and then seen clubbing that night, which he went straight, by the way, he wore his clubbing outfit. I'm 99% sure that he put his clubbing outfit on and was like, we got to make a quick stop at the Heisman ceremony, and then we can go to the club. And he had a little light up sign that said, fuck Indiana. Not total bum move, total trash. Yeah, and then he came out. He came out and apologized, and you know how ChatGPT, when you tell it to write something or when it responds, puts those fucking dashes?
Yeah.
Way too many dashes, dude. This was total ChatGPT written. But yeah, Pavia, bum. Total bum.
Yeah, good football player, terrible person. And, dude, you're the second best player in college football. Like, and you're throwing a fit. Like, come on, dude. Like, I get it. And you apologize for it, but like, dude, you're already like a fringe draftable player.
Yeah, no,
you just hurt your grade even worse,
dude. I don't think it's crazy to say he like won't go drafted. If he acts the way that he did in his draft day interviews or in his combine interviews, he's not getting drafted. He's not going to get drafted. Now, if he like cleans up his act, I think fifth round might be his highest anyways.
This might be a turning point for him. Who knows? You got to stop clubbing and stuff, but he's really going on that Johnny Manziel trajectory.
I want to be honest. I don't even mind if a player's clubbing in the off season. Not all the time during the off season, because like realistically, you should be in the weight room.
What if he's
a
5'8" quarterback?
Talk about Johnny Manziel.
No, Diego Pavia.
Oh yeah, dude. Also, not close to 6 foot. Not close to 6 foot at all. I don't know if they just didn't think that he'd ever like stand next to someone that's actually 6 foot. And like, look, we get it.
Was he standing next to? Was it Jeremiah Love or was it?
It was. I think there was a picture of them all standing together, and you can tell like he is nowhere near 6 foot. Like we all,
I think Sayan's not very tall either.
No,
I think Sayan's like 6'1", and I think he was like half a head taller than him. He looked
They
like he
all,
looked like a homie that was there supporting his freaking baller ass
dude. He kind
son
of,
like to play
if
football.
you took like one of those pit bulls that like runs around like a really bad area and has a chain collar, that's what Diego Pavia looks like, dude. Like even the way he stands like arms crossed, chest
He's
pumped,
just
dude.
he just looks like he's always out to cause issues. And I mean, I get it. Like I gave him his props. He's a good football player. He's my pick to win the Heisman. But like, dude, when
Yeah,
you act like a piece of shit, like
yeah, no, he
it's just time and place for shit.
for sure
And
time and
like
place. Like
it's just not that's not the time, not the place, not the right thing to say. Like and the fact is like you're like, oh, I acted out of emotion, blah blah blah. You were at the club probably an hour and a half, 2 hours after the ceremony ended, and you still had the audacity to put fuck Indiana on the thing.
yeah,
It
see
just
that's
shows
like
that it's not an emotional decision. It's just like, oh, I'm Diego Pavia. I'm trying to stir the pot. I want clicks, blah, blah, blah. This is going to go
yeah,
viral, blah, blah.
yeah,
And it's
one
like,
hundred
dude,
percent.
and he probably freaking reached out to Mendoza and was like, oh, I was just doing it for clicks, blah, blah, blah. I don't mean nothing by it. It's like, dude,
I I
it's
wonder if
just stupid behavior from a 24-year-old or whatever he is. I think he's 24 or 23. It's just like,
yeah, you got to know better at that age. Like
yeah,
100% got to know better. I wonder if they actually have talked about it. I don't know how much two quarterbacks that are not in the same conference are really going to talk to each other. Um, Probably these two more so than most, or these three more than most. But yeah, I'm curious to see if he's reached out to him. And Fernando Mendoza, biggest goober out in college football right now. His post game interviews
which
are,
is like NFL teams are going to eat that shit up.
oh God, yeah, they will, dude. Like that's the same way Herbert was when he came out. He was
Andrew
a big
Luck.
old
Like I'm not
goober.
comparing,
Andrew
not saying the
Luck,
same type of player, just
player, but
personality,
personality wise,
personality.
yeah, Andrew Luck was a big old goober. Yeah, I
But
Pavia is a bum. Pavia is a
yeah,
bum.
I do want to give like a shout out to those guys that finished sixth through 10th. Uh, Jeremiah Smith, Gunnar Stockton, Trinidad, Caleb Downs, and Hayes King. I thought it was pretty cool that Trinidad made it in there
I like
after
Trinidad making it in
not
there.
playing the full.
I love my
Yeah,
boy Haynes King making it in there. I absolutely
I
love
think
Haynes King.
I find it crazy. I mean, Gunnar Stockton only had 43 total points. Uh, but Gunnar Stockton got three first place votes,
That has to be three Georgia beat writers.
and like I don't know, it just like Jeremiah Smith got four, Gunnar got three, Trinidad, Caleb, and Hanks King got two each, and it's just crazy to me that like I mean, shout out those they're damn good players. They probably deserve to be
Yeah,
in the top 10, but
yeah,
it's just crazy that they got first place votes to me.
yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Uh, I don't really know why you would waste a first place vote on a non-finalist, to be honest. Like, I guess it's like you're kind of like
Well,
making a
I'm
point,
pretty
but
sure
like,
I'm pretty sure they cast these votes and then they tally the points beforehand and then they
and then
only
invite.
invite the top four.
Okay, I don't know why I was under the impression that they all would vote for their say top four, and then or they'd all do like 1 through 10, and the top four would go, and they'd have another round of voting. But I think what you said actually makes a lot more sense.
I mean, because there's what like 900 or whatever it is voters.
Yeah, there's a ton of voters.
Yeah, that's another. That's so. I think we've already talked about that. There's just too many people that vote for Heisman. I feel like,
100%, 100%. Now
but
change the subject a little bit. Still speaking about the Heisman ceremony. Did you see Jeremiah Love's outfit?
I didn't.
So I think
I
I
wasn't paying
texted you
attention too
about
much to it.
this. I was locked into it. Not really. I had a Christmas party to go to later that night, but like I had gotten out of the shower and I had like this was like one of those things. I had like I didn't want to like start it, start doing something and then like not have time to finish it. So I was like, I'll just like sit here and lock into this. You know those like old school like ASIC running shoes that are making a comeback? They're like this, shiny silvery material. Bro had
Yeah,
those on with a suit, and let me tell you, I completely didn't notice Pavia's outfit because I was really focused on the running
he had
shoes
the
with
dad
the
shoes
with the
on.
suit. Dude,
Hey,
he
I
had the Dad Force ones
are you
with the
making
suit.
fun of him?
I'm making fun of him for wearing him with a suit. Absolutely. I'm not making fun of Dad Force Ones.
Hey,
All right. I'm
dude,
sure. I'm
I
sure
don't
you.
appreciate you making fun of someone on the spectrum. Okay.
I love it.
He is. He is.
Is he actually?
Yeah, you didn't know that? I'm pretty sure he's.
No.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna look like an asshole. I'm pretty sure. I'm
No.
pretty sure he's
If
autistic.
if he's not, we'll cut this out. But we're going to uh absolutely look this up right now. Jeremiah
Oh, sorry,
Love.
sorry. Autism. Autism.
Isn't that the spectrum?
Autism. Yes. Uh, he has traits associated with autism spectrum disorder.
So
With the
yeah. So
pediatrician suggesting he might be on the spectrum, but his parents chose not to pursue a formal diagnosis and instead
instead,
viewing
embracing his
everything as
unique traits as
superpowers.
strengths. S-
Yep.
I like the way yours phrased it more.
Hmm.
They apparently featured this on a college game day, which they usually feature stories like this like early, and it's 6 o'clock when it comes on. So I usually will put it on and then nod back off to sleep.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll wake
Those
up
always
like
pop on at like 6:45 too, and it's like right after you fall back asleep.
yeah, or like sometimes it's like a really sad story that I'm like I don't want to start my day off like this, so then I'll like purposefully go back to sleep and turn the volume down.
Hmm.
Yeah, I did not realize that he was on the spectrum. I guess I'm gonna be making fun of whoever saw him leave the house like that because
Oh, whoever allowed him.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he.
Uh,
I'm not going that far. But yeah, whoever saw
he's like
that
a
and
grown
instead of
man.
being like, "Hey man, just get you some like dress shoes or like at least loafers," was like, "You're looking good, dude. You're looking fly. This is it." And then again, though, if he was
That
in a
is a wild move.
situation,
That's a
if
wild move.
I will say, if he was in a situation where they had to run, he was in very good shape. Wasn't
That's
gonna
what
have
he
sore
does.
feet the next
That's
day.
what he
He does.
does.
That
He's a
is what
running
he
back.
does. He is a running back, always ready to run. Oh, all right. Let's get off of this before we make any other questionable medical diagnoses.
Glad I wasn't
Transfer.
wrong.
Dude, if you were wrong, you would have looked like the biggest piece of shit. I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't have taken it out in post. I would have left it in there.
I would have been like, dude, I just need that clip.
It would have been the greatest clip of all time, dude. We got to start just throwing medical diagnoses at players more often and see what sticks. Get a dart. We'll get a dartboard
Geno
with.
Smith.
Yeah, he's just
Geno
trash.
Smith's the reason that my aunt got her cancer diagnosis.
Is this a real story? Because I think
No,
Geno
no,
Smith has
no.
given me cancer this year.
Have you seen that stuff? Everyone's just like, whenever you have issues, just blame it on Geno Smith. You fucking get in a car crash. Well, fuck you,
I
Geno
saw
Smith.
I saw Geno Smith selling Fent behind the gas station, and I'm so serious. So Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, please arrest that man, get him off the Raiders payroll. Um, anyways, transfer portal. We got a couple big names already. The weird part, cool part, questionable part, interesting part, whatever, is like there's still a lot of quarterbacks that are gonna hit the portal, or a lot of players, I should say, in general, that are gonna hit the portal. These are just the first goers. So I got five that I have notable. First one being Mahomes Jr. himself, Dylan Raiola, who Nick. I'm really hoping Raiola thinks that a broken fibula is close enough to a torn ACL, or else this man first play of the season next year, tearing that ACL.
He's gonna be in agony.
Which if you don't know, is a Patrick Mahomes joke. Then we got Brendan Sorsby, quarterback from Cincinnati, really good quarterback, but just hasn't been talked about as much in my opinion because Cincinnati's just Cincinnati. We got DJ
Really good at
Lagway.
running too.
Brendan Sorsby is a good runner. Then we got DJ Lagway. Obviously had a great freshman year and then a injury-prone sophomore year this year. And I'm going to break these down all in a minute. Sam Levitt won a Big 12 title with ASU last year. Again, a good quarterback. ASU was just not great this year, and when they were on their run, they had possibly the coolest player to ever play. If you took Timmy Riggins from Friday Night Lights and gave him a college uniform and now NFL uniform, That's who you're getting Scatterbo. And then we have possibly my favorite transfer ever, TJ Finley, who is now going to be in his sixth school in just 7 years. So his list of schools, did not have this up, is absolutely wild. So he starts out at LSU, doesn't win the starting job, transfers to Auburn. He's at Auburn for 2 years, commits for a little bit, and then doesn't win the starting job there. And then he goes to Texas State, go to a group of 5 school, ball out, transfer back up. No. Then transfers to Western Kentucky. And then, who, by the way, have the coolest mascot, go Hilltoppers. And then goes to Georgia State. And now is transferring again. I don't think that we should allow him to transfer. I think we should say, no, you have to finish it at Georgia State now. Absolutely wild to go to 6 different schools in 7 years. Also wild to still be playing college football in year 7.
I have it written down on my thing next to his name. It says, "Get a job."
No, he is going to transfer to like the local Taco Bell to be working the drive-thru. That's about where he's going.
Sign up for LinkedIn, buddy.
Dude, did you see that Fernando Mendoza put Heisman winner on his LinkedIn?
Yeah.
It's gonna come in
He
handy.
posted a whole thing. Yeah, it's like, yeah, buddy. Sure, you're gonna be an NFL quarterback.
So going back here,
I do want to add one guy hit the portal today. Quarterback, Drew Messmaker. So just
Drew Messmaker, Oklahoma State. So I was gonna ask where landing spots are. Oklahoma State for sure. And Nick is going to be watching every Oklahoma State game this season.
I don't know, man.
To root on his boy.
No, I will be. I will be watching.
Go Hopes. I'll be checking in. So starting with Dylan Raiola, obviously big transfer portal news. One of the top rated, or I think he was the top rated quarterback coming out of high school. Started as a true freshman. Was supposed to be the guy to turn Nebraska around. Nebraska actually offered him his dad. He was committed to Georgia. I thought it was USC. It was not USC. I did tell you earlier in the week that it was USC. I know he was there was mutual interest there. But Nebraska offers his dad a coaching job. He takes it, goes to Nebraska, and then his brother was, I guess, committed to Nebraska, then decommitted, and dad quit, and now he's in the transfer portal. So there's a very obvious school that he wants to go to, and he is not going to get into that school. Nope. So very clearly wants to go to Texas Tech. I mean, you look, if you glanced at a picture of him, you think it's Patrick Mahomes. He does everything to be like Patrick Mahomes, and he probably said Patrick Mahomes went to Texas Tech. He probably saw that Patrick Mahomes was on the sideline of a Texas Tech game this year. And was like, that's where I'm going. But Texas Tech, wild situation. Brennan Sorsby, right? So Brennan Sorsby has a girlfriend that plays volleyball. She played volleyball at Cincinnati. She hits the transfer portal for volleyball, immediately commits to Texas Tech. Now, Nick, for head coaches, we watch plane trackers. For players, we track their girlfriends. That's how we see where they're going early. Also, wildest
and stuff, commenting on it.
So he reposted it, and then he commented, "Love this," with like a heart or something. And then on his announcement, the Texas Tech football general manager retweeted his announcement that he was hitting the portal.
And said that they weren't going to pursue Dylan Raiola.
And then publicly saying they weren't considering. Yeah. So Brendan Sorsby is going to Texas Tech. I think we all know that. Also, just real quick on that comment on his girlfriend's post, wildest picture on the internet right now. It has since been deleted off of Twitter, but I think it's still on Instagram. Whoever is standing next to her in the picture, the most wild hand placement, dude. He has what I can only describe as a fistful of cheek. And I'm not going to speculate on who the guy is. If you look at the comments, it says who the guy is. And it's one of two people, and neither is great. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But back to Raiola. Dylan Raiola, Nick, where do you? I keep going back and forth on some landing spots, but I want to hear. I
Uh,
want to hear your landing spots.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think I don't think he should have left in the first place.
Mm-mm.
But who knows? I saw Louisville is trying to make a really big
I saw
push for him.
Louisville was
I feel like that's a step down for him, though. It is still Power
absolutely.
Four football. Maybe he can win in an easier conference. Who knows? But if they throw him the bag, I could see him going there. Uh, I could see him also getting some attention from some of the new, like Kentucky, maybe just an SEC school that's not great.
There's a
Mississippi
couple
State, stuff like that.
that, yeah, I could see all of those, but I could also see a couple of schools that have very bad quarterbacks and got new coaches. There's two schools in particular that I'm thinking of. Um, that being Virginia Tech or Auburn. I think both of them need quarterbacks pretty bad. Both of those head coaches, James Franklin, obviously familiar with Rayola's game. I
Hmm.
could see it being somewhere like that. I could see a Florida. Obviously, they're going to need a quarterback, and uh, their coach Summerall's a good quarterback developer. He did say in his Rayola did say that he wanted to develop himself further for the NFL. Doesn't think he's being developed enough. So those are some places I could see him go. I think that's like a big question mark though. It's definitely not Brendan Sorsby levels. I think honestly same thing with DJ Lagway and Sam Levitt. I don't know that there's a favorite there yet.
Sam Levitt's going to go back to Oregon.
You think so?
I'm pretty sure he transferred out of there to Arizona State
But you think
because
he'll
he
go
was.
back?
I think so. Dante Moore leaves. Good chance getting the job.
So you're
Uh,
also calling it right now that Dante Moore's
I think
going
he
to the draft.
draft. Yeah, I think so.
Michigan State. Levitt
Uh,
came from Michigan State.
oh, that's where he came from.
Yeah.
Why? Why was I saying
Speaking
everyone's
of,
like he's? I
but
wonder if he was
Aiden
committed
Chi-
there.
Aiden Childs also in the transfer portal, so that is a possibility he goes back to Michigan State. Although I don't think he will.
No, Levitt would probably go to Oregon. I don't know
I
why. I
think he'll
saw
go to
some stuff
Oregon.
on there. I don't know why, but and then Lagway, I think he stays in the SEC. Uh, he said he didn't want to leave Florida. Maybe him and Summerall work things out. Whatever happened, he goes back. I wouldn't rule out Ole Miss or Tennessee. If Joey Aguilar leaves, go in and replace him. Heupel's offense, pretty quarterback friendly. Uh, and then Ole Miss replace Trinidad.
So yeah, I got three for him, all in the South. I could see if he really does not like Summerall because the reports were that he wants to stay at Florida. We saw conflicting reports. You saw that Summerall didn't guarantee him a starting spot. I saw that he did not guarantee him a starting spot. That's true, but that what Lagway was upset about was that there was no like path for development for him there, and that they didn't really have like a plan for him. So he was like, "Well, I've got to go somewhere else." Then I don't like Summerall. So if him and Summerall can work it out, and that can happen. Like you can take your name out of the transfer portal. It's not like once you're in the transfer portal, you're done at your school. But the three places I think if he really wants to just middle finger to Florida, there's two their rivals both are going to need quarterbacks, and their rivals both like transfer quarterbacks, Florida State and Miami. Probably more Miami than Florida State, just because of where Florida State is at as a program right now.
Mm-hmm.
Lagway's not the best runner. He's a little big and heavy. And obviously Malzahn in Florida State runs like an option. So I don't think Florida State, but I think more so could go to Miami. Just really give the middle finger to Summerall in
Mm-hmm.
Florida, and the other one would be Ole Miss. I think he could go to Ole Miss absolutely, replace Trinidad. But I think he stays in the SEC. I think he likes the South. I think he's from Georgia, so
He's from Texas,
I could
right?
also see. Is he from Texas?
I think he wrote like. I think so.
Dude, I get those southern states confused. It's just this. Oh yeah, he's from
Yeah, he's
Texas.
from Willis, Texas.
Willis, Texas. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think he'll stay in the South. Though, stay in the SEC, or obviously one of those two schools, ACC. But the South. Um, Sam Levitt, I could see Oregon. To be honest, I'm with you there. I'm gonna throw one. I'm gonna throw TJ Finley at you.
So I didn't even think about this. I honestly don't think he should get another year. I honestly think that he shouldn't go to. He wouldn't play at a Power Four conference either. I think he
No,
just needs to go somewhere where he can play another year of football, unless he wants to chill and be a backup for his last year.
I think yeah, I think one of two things. He goes into a Power Four team that maybe just has like a good degree or something, kind of what like Sam Heward
Yeah,
did for USC this year. Maybe you get in on the fake punt at the number switch. The other option I think is he goes to like a Missouri State, a Delaware, like one of the real bad group of
bad
five teams,
teams.
or a bowl ineligible group of five team. Like I don't think he's ever playing at a Power Four school or even like a good group of five school.
Hmm.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with all of those guys, and then what people get start transferring different places. Obviously, we know Sorsby's going to Texas Tech. We're assuming that Messamaker's going to Oklahoma State. Rest of them, I think, are question marks, and it'll be interesting to see. And
Hmm.
we have the college football playoff preview. Before that, I do have a question. Did you see that Summerall is not recruiting anyone from Tulane unless they're in the portal, and also
Yeah,
donated $100K to their NIL? Yeah,
yeah. I think.
real,
Well, yeah.
real, real, just great move there, Summerall. Real great move there.
Not
I
burning
think
any
just
bridges.
yeah, I think we got to just hats off to
Just
him. Reminds me of Scott Frost. Scott Frost obviously went back to UCF. Didn't poach a bunch of players. Transfer portal rules were different, but went back to UCF. I think he wants that, and I think he does have a love for Tulane. He just wants to be in a Power Five conference, Power Four
yeah.
conference. Now on to the college football playoff preview. So first game this weekend. And these are some two good games. First round, all at home. We'll talk about what home they're at. We got Alabama, Oklahoma. Now that is Friday night. I think it's 5 o'clock for West Coast, 8 o'clock for East Coast. It'll be a night game. It is in Oklahoma. Right now, Bama was 10-2 in Oklahoma. I guess I should say in the regular season, Bama was 10-2. Oklahoma was also 10-2. Um, with that, though, I mean, Bama obviously lost in the conference championship game, where they looked terrible. But these two teams have played each other once this year. When they played. I believe it was in Alabama, um, and Oklahoma won 23-21. Now Oklahoma has to go and play in Alabama. OU's
You mean
defense
Bama's got to play
really.
in Oklahoma?
Bama's got to play in Oklahoma. Yeah. Um, Oklahoma's defense is really what beat Bama the first time they played. They had an 87-yard pick six. Obviously,
Hmm.
they won by two. Bama was in field goal range, so without that, Bama wins by like a touchdown. Bama, at the least, gets 24
Well,
points.
they had the pick six, and they had that punt return that set up their only touchdown of
That,
the game on
yeah,
offense.
yeah. So yeah, really, Bama's offense lost in that game, and special teams lost in that game.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
I'm gonna let you go ahead first. Take your pick on this game.
I mean, I have the same thing written down. OU's defense beat Bama the first time. Uh, but yeah, Bama's offense, they're missing their left tackle, and he still didn't. I think he's out for the game. I think he's officially out. Uh, Bama is getting a couple good players back. Same with Oklahoma though. But I do think Bama wins this time around. Uh, I just
Um,
don't think. I think if Bama doesn't shoot, I think Bama doesn't shoot himself in the foot. Oklahoma doesn't have enough offensive firepower, and I mean, OU's defense and special teams is gonna have to win again. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like Bama's gonna learn from their mistakes.
so here's the two things I'm looking at. One, let's look at who they played. So Bama played Florida State, lost to them pretty bad. Not pretty well, it was yeah, pretty bad. And Florida State ended up being garbage. They lost to Oklahoma, and then they lost to Georgia in the conference championship game. Oklahoma's two losses are to the number 6 team in the country and their rival when Mateer was very obviously hurt. So I think they're realistically an 11-1 team. They're a better team than Texas.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It depends. It just
but the thing that I'm looking the most at is that Bama's offense is what lost them that game, and Bama's offense is looking terrible since then.
It
Minus
has.
3 yards rushing in the conference championship game against a defense that had your number when your defense was rolling or your offense was rolling going into that game. I don't think that Alabama's defense is going to look better than they did in that game. And I don't think that Oklahoma's defense is going to look horrible. So I'm going Boomer Sooner on this one. I'm taking Oklahoma.
Okay. Okay.
And then that's our Friday night game. So that's a good start to our
It'll be
college
a good
football
one.
playoff. Oh, absolutely will. That Oklahoma Stadium will be rocking.
Hmm.
Then on Saturday, first game, we get another great one. We got Miami going into Texas. So right now, I don't know why I keep saying right now. These are their records. So Miami finishes the year at 10-2. They do have a big win over Notre Dame, and then their two losses were to SMU and Louisville. Texas A&M 11-1 on the year. Their loss was to Texas. They also have a big win over Notre Dame. When you look at one thing that I do think is going to be huge in this game is that it is in Kyle Field, and Kyle Field sits 102,000 people, and that is significantly bigger
102,000
and
crazy
louder.
people.
100,000 crazy people. If you don't know what some of the Aggie traditions are, they're
That midnight
absolutely
yell thing is crazy.
they're a cult that plays football is what they are. Um, that atmosphere will be probably worse than any atmosphere Miami has played in this year. I don't think the ACC is getting as loud, as rocking as 100,000 A&M fans are.
Miami has not looked
Um,
good out of the state of Florida this year either.
they have not. Miami's defense though has looked insane.
And defense
Miami's
travels.
defense, their defense travels. Their defense is good. They held Jeremiah Love to just 33 yards. Now, using Notre Dame as a litmus test since both teams played them. Uh, Texas A&M. I got a little text when I said that. Kind of scary. Texas A&M held Jeremiah Love to like 94 yards. So Miami's defense is the better defense for sure. They are just bully people at the line, and their linebackers are good. Absolutely insane. Their offense though is I put mid/inconsistent. All right, Malachi Tony is good. Is really good. I'm gonna say Malachi Tony is really good, but Carson Beck is mid to bad most games. He's had a couple
See,
like okay good games.
hmm I would say that their offense leans more towards inconsistencies than just being straight up mid. Their running back's good. Fletcher's good. Uh, Beck's just
I think
really, I mean,
Fletcher only has like 685, 95 yards on the season though.
yeah, I don't think he's used very much.
That would explain it, but
Like, I'm pretty sure his yards per carry is still pretty decent. 5 yards a carry.
yeah, I mean that's not bad. I mean, if you
They
think
have
about that, if you just ran the ball with him every single time and he did that, they would never get the third down.
they've got three
Obviously,
backs.
obviously not how that works, but
They've got Fletcher, and then they've got Shamar Brown, and then they
yeah,
have this little freshman Gerard Pringle. He's averaging 6 yards a carry. He only has 58 carries on the year. So,
his last name is
but
Pringle, like the chip.
yep,
There is a
Gerard
perfect
Gerard Pringle Jr.
there is a perfect NIL opportunity there for Pringles and Gerard if they accept that. That is right there. That is a slam dunk NIL deal.
Hmm. But yeah,
Um,
I think their offense is more inconsistent. Uh, my thing with them is it's basically the same as you. Like Malachi Tony is really, 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 really good. Beck is very mid,
yeah,
and then the run game is pretty average. Like I like Fletcher, uh, but like you said, he's only ran for just under 700 yards this year. So
yeah,
it's
which
not like
which
he's
will be he will be fresher than if he ran for eighteen
yeah.
hundred yards or
I mean,
1,200 yards
he's only
even.
carried it 148 times
Yeah,
in
so
12
he'll
games.
be
So
fresher. Now Carson Beck has thrown two game-ending interceptions, one in overtime. Uh, so he, like I said, very inconsistent. Not someone that you can put the ball in their hands and say, "Go win me a game." Um,
hmm
on the flip side of that, so where Miami's defense is elite, A&M's is good, not great. It's good. They held Jeremiah Love to 95 yards. That's better than half of the teams that played Jeremiah Love did. It's good, not great. Their offense, while it is inconsistent, it is explosive when it is on. It is
Yep.
absolutely explosive. And that's because Marcel Reed can get out of the pocket, extend the play, keep his eyes downfield, hit a dot, all that stuff that we talk about with mobile, can get out of the pocket quarterbacks. He can also just take off and run with it. He rushed for over 100 yards in a game and had like 75 in their last game against Texas. And then they have
Hmm.
KJ Concepcion, I think I'm saying right.
I think so.
Um,
I think it is. I think it's Concepcion. I think it's
very,
yeah.
yeah, very, very good receiver. Again, though, we're looking at can the quarterback deliver him the ball? Reed has had accuracy issues all year, 61.8% completion percentage, and then 10 interceptions on the year.
Same as Carson Beck has 10 picks too. So
Yeah.
both quarterbacks got a pick, or both
They
quarterbacks will throw a
actually,
pick in this game. Maybe sprinkle a little bit on prize picks.
you know what's crazy? they they are very similar teams. If you look at the stats, like they're almost identical. Even A&M's leading rusher has like 600 yards rushing. He's in that 600 to 700 yard category. They both beat Notre Dame in very close games. And then A&M probably should have lost against South Carolina, in which case they both would have two losses they shouldn't have had. Like they match up really well against each other, but
Hmm.
one team is like ranked significantly higher than the other because Miami was outside looking in. But these two
Yeah,
teams actually match up really well against each other.
I think the big thing here will be Miami's not losing their coordinators to new head coaching jobs, and A&M's losing their OC, and I think their DC also to a new job. So how much is that going to mess with A&M? Uh, I'm still going to. I mean, honestly, I'm. This one's kind of been 50-50 for me. I really have been up in the air on who I'm going to take. I don't even have anyone written down, like legit. Like us talking about it's kind of swaying me. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
leaning
yeah.
A&M, uh, but I think I'm gonna take Miami.
You're going Miami?
Yeah, I think
What
I
I'm
think
look
Miami winning is more likely than Bama winning. Uh, but I think Miami's defense is gonna travel, and A&M really. I mean, who knows? A&M hasn't really been punched in the mouth. They got punched in the mouth by South Carolina, and they happened to come back. And then Texas punched them in the mouth, and they looked kind of not very good. So who knows if an even better front seven in Miami punches them in the mouth? And I think Miami could take it.
Here's what I'm looking at here. I think Miami can stop A&M for the most part, but I don't know if having that explosive of an offense, if they can shut them down. I think they could put up 14 to 17 to 21 points, somewhere in that range. And I don't trust Carson Beck to be able to do that against A&M's good,
Mm-hmm.
not great defense. So I'm gonna go gig 'em. I'm going with the Aggies here. I just think that their offense is too explosive to be consistently stopped. They can hit a chunk play. Miami's defense can do everything right 95% of the time, but A&M can hit a chunk play and get a ton of yards from it
Mm-hmm.
and
I
a
agree.
touchdown from it. So I'm going A&M here to win this game. And then we have
I
kind of
think
a our
yeah. If Miami hold if I feel like if A&M hits the chunk plays, they can win. But if Miami limits them, then I think Reed will make mistakes.
it
And
could
I do
very
agree
well
that they
and
can score points in a hurry, and if Miami doesn't stop the chunk plays, it'll be bad.
it can very well be one of those games that if you didn't see a scoring play, you would think that Miami is winning, but A&M ends up winning.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have kind of like a
The two
letdown
shitty
end.
games.
We have the two shitty games back to back.
That's why they're on when NFL games are on.
Oh, that is a very good point. Also, the FCS semifinals are on during the last game. Montana State. Nick, I'm saying it. Go Grizz. Nick's
Not gonna
favorite
flip you
FCS
off.
team is. I just blurred out. Nick's favorite FCS team is Montana State because he used to live in Bozeman.
Hell yeah, go
But
Cats.
go Grizz. But we got Tulane at Ole Miss. That is Saturday in the afternoon time slot. Tulane 11-2 on the year. Ole Miss 11-1 on the year. Ole Miss's only loss is to Georgia in 43-35, but they had a 3-possession lead going into the fourth quarter and pissed that game away. Tulane, on the other hand, they lost to UTSA 48-26. Really, the only bad game they've had all year, and they lost to Ole Miss 45-10. So this is a rematch. What the thing though, the storyline here is that Ole Miss doesn't have Kiffin anymore. I think it's very clear Ole Miss has the talent, but no coach or their head coach left. Tulane has Summerall. Summerall's a very good coach, but he's been working 2 jobs. He's been working that. He's been recruiting for Florida and being very weird about what he's posting about it. It's getting a little cringy, Summerall. Stop posting. And then you have we all know Trinidad Chambliss, Ole Miss quarterback, very good. What has not been talked about is Retzlaff is also very good, but his team can get low-key sloppy, and that is why he doesn't have the best stats. I think he's a good quarterback, and I think that can make a difference in this game. But then Ole Miss on his side has Trinidad and Lacey, and a good, not great defense.
They got plenty more talent. There's a reason they beat them 45-10 earlier. Kiffin didn't call the plays. Charlie Weiss Jr. did, and he's back still calling the plays. They're going to, I don't know. I don't know if they dog walk them as bad as they did 45-10, but it'll be bad. It's going to be 20 points.
So here's what I wrote down.
What, Tulane has beaten who this year? Who's the best team they beat? Duke?
Yeah, I think Duke's got to be Duke.
I mean, and granted, Duke's an ACC champ, but a 5-loss one.
Yeah, they're not the best team in the ACC by any means.
But yeah, I think Ole Miss is just gonna have enough. Trinidad and Lacey, they'll put up 500 yards on them. I think next week is when we'll start having to question how they're gonna look or how they'll look without Kiffin against a real good opponent. But I think this one's pretty bad game. I don't know if it's as bad as the next game, but it'd be a pretty bad game.
So I think I'm asking 2 questions. Will Ole Miss be okay without Kiffin? Is this a revenge game for Tulane? And the first part of that is I think that in this game, yes, they'll be fine without Kiffin. He wasn't calling plays. Charlie Weiss Jr. is still calling plays. Is this a revenge game for Tulane? Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're going to win. Ole Miss should I'm not going to say dog walk them as bad, but it should be a 21. I'm with you, 21-point win for Ole Miss. And then I've tried to hype this game up in my head multiple times. For the life of me, I can't do it. We got JMU going into Oregon. First of all, Autzen is going to be the loudest, wildest place that JMU has ever played. JMU is also not good. They're just not a good football team when you're looking compared to the top teams. Personally, I still can't believe. I still can't believe that they are in this year.
But the thing is, you put in over them according to the rules.
I'm with you.
It's them.
According to the rules that are in place, absolutely. But I still just can't wrap my head around the fact that we have 2 Group of 5 champs and no ACC champ. I agree with it. It's just wild. Also, though,
Miami for not beating SMU or Louisville.
Yeah, if you want to, yeah, I'm with you. JMU though, 12-1 on the year. They lost to Louisville. That was their only loss, 28-14. And then Oregon is 11-1. Their only loss is a 10-point loss to Indiana. So I think right there you're looking at that. Who has the better loss, obviously. Oregon also, their best wins probably USC, beating them 42-27. Maybe Iowa because they beat them at home. Or they beat them in Kinnick. And I think that USC-Oregon game, I will say, closer than it looked, or closer than the score says. But still, you're looking at JMU's best win is Washington State. I'm just gonna say my thought first. JMU might legitimately lose by 100 points this week. JMU is going to get dog walked in their conference championship game. they didn't look good. Like they won it, but like if I didn't see scoring plays, I would have thought they were getting their asses kicked. They looked sloppy bad, and you can't look sloppy bad and going 2 odds in and expect to beat Oregon. They might lose by 100.
And their head coach took a new job too. So
Also that.
I mean, it's I don't think it's going to be good. I've watched Oregon play Montana State this year and a couple other teams, and if they're bigger than you and if they're stronger than you, they will bully the shit out of you. And that is exactly what they're going to do to JMU. They have like 4 running backs that they give the ball to, and they will give each of them 10 carries if they need to. It'll probably be more like Whittington getting, I don't know who all 4 of them are, but I know it's Whittington's first. And they got Davison, Hill, and Lemar. And then they've got another guy who's got at least 25 carries. Like Dante Moore can run too. There are
Yeah.
multiple guys that will just pound the rock.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You've got Whittington averages 6.9 a carry, Davison 6.1, Hill is averaging 8.2. So it's a 3-headed monster at running back. Those 3 combined 259 carries for like 1,800 yards or 1,700 yards, something like that. So they're just going to bully the shit out of them.
Yeah,
They won't
I'm
ask
with you.
Dante Moore
I'm
to do
absolutely
much.
with you. Yeah, absolutely with you on there. But that's it for our college football playoff preview and Heisman talk and transfer portal talk that we have this week. Nick, is there anything that I'm missing that you want to talk about? Nothing?
No,
All right. Well, then with that, we will see you guys after the college football playoff games are over. Um, and we will have a lot of things to talk about with those. So definitely make sure to come back next week. And I think, yeah, that is it. We will see you guys next week.